Hello and welcome to the Tiggy team. I'm Tiggy, your host, and today I'm going to be ranking every Star Wars movie from worst to best. Let's get started. Alright, so we're going to get right into this ranking, and at number 11, we have Star Wars Attack of the Clones Episode 2. So this is a very, very good movie. Like, none of these Star Wars movies are all that bad. I like all of them, but I feel like the acting in this movie is really, really bad by Anakin, and it's just, it's annoying and at some parts boring to watch, which is why I really don't like it, and when I was little, I used to love this movie, and, me and Hunter used to overwatch it, so much. But now I've just kind of realized that's how bad it is, and it's not really as good. The final, battle is pretty good, and I still think it's a good movie, but just a couple things that weigh it down. But yeah, that is why Star Wars Attack of the Clones is at number 11 on my list. Alright, next up, we have The Empire Strikes Back, Episode 5 of Star Wars. So this is considered to be one of the best Star Wars movies, and I think it technically is, but in terms of my enjoyment, it is not. I feel like it is boring, at least in my opinion. I feel like it is boring and really the twist where Darth Vader's Luke's father, I already knew that, so it wasn't as big to me. I already watched the prequels before I watched Episode 5. And really, it's just not my favorite movie. I feel like it's boring, especially when Luke's at Dagobah. And I feel like it just drags on, and I feel that they could have done a better job with it and made it more interesting. But I know a lot of people like it, but really I don't like it that much. So yeah, that is why The Empire Strikes Back is at number 10 on my list. Alright, next up we have Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope. So this was the original Star Wars movie that they made, and really, I think it's a solid movie. I think it really is a solid movie, and the only thing I put it down here for is because it's just old. The graphics aren't as good, the editing isn't as good, the lightsaber battle is definitely not as good. It's an interesting battle there, the lightsaber battle, but I still think it is a quality movie, and definitely big for the 1970s when it was made, big for its time. Advanced movie making a lot there. It's definitely good with A New Hope, and I'm just not a big fan of it. No really reason why, it's just that it's old and the storyline doesn't grab me as much as other films. So that is why Star Wars A New Hope is at number 9 on my list. Next up, at number 8, we have The Phantom Menace, Episode 1 of Star Wars. So this is a really, really good movie. I consider this to be starting all the really good movies that was kind of hard to rank. And I love The Phantom Menace, especially the final battle scene. Really Darth Maul against Obi-Wan Kenobi and Qui-Gon Jinn. It's a great fight. It's a great battle. It's really, really cool. And I feel like it's, just the twist with Qui-Gon Jinn dying. He's one of my favorite Jedi still to this day. And with him dying, it's kind of sad, and it was a crazy moment, and I really like The Phantom Menace. It did a lot for Star Wars. Some people don't like Kid Anakin, but I feel like he did a good job. I mean, he's a kid, so, he did a good job for being a kid, and I think he did a pretty good job with, just the acting, and he's not as bad as people probably think. But yeah, I think The Phantom Menace is overall a quality movie, and is really one of those better rewatchable movies of the Star Wars franchise. So that is why The Phantom Menace is at number 8 on my list. Next up, at number 7, we have Revenge of the Sith, Episode 3 of Star Wars. So this is a really great movie. Basically Anakin turns evil, and that is a cool plot twist that I guess, I kind of knew about and I saw coming. I've been watching these Star Wars movies since I was, as long as I can remember, 3 years old. I don't know, maybe not 3, but as long as I can remember. So I think Revenge of the Sith is definitely a really good movie. The lightsaber duel between Anakin and Obi-Wan is really, really good. And I think the prequels, this was a good way to end off the prequels. And yeah, my favorite out of the prequels, I think it really did a good job. And it felt like the most like Star Wars, the Clone Wars, like Clone Wars TV show, one of my favorite TV shows. And I feel like this is kind of like a movie style of that, and it does a great job. And I feel like the editing and stuff will hold up for a while, and I think it does a really, really good job. So that is why Revenge of the Sith is at number 7 on my list. Next up, at number 6, we have Solo, a Star Wars story. So one of the newer films, and I really, really like this film because it's not focused on the Jedi. It is focused more on Han Solo, who's, of course, not a Jedi. And really, it's just focused on him as a young kid and how he got to where he is in A New Hope when we see that movie. And it explains it really well, I feel like. And, the plot twist at the end, like the whole final thing, Solo versus Dryden, which is the bad guy, that was great. The whole twist where the coaxium is actually the real coaxium is pretty crazy. And I never saw it coming. And I really think, it's such a good twist, and that is definitely one of the reasons it's up here. And then with Darth Maul at the end, they still haven't really explained it, but it doesn't really need to be explained necessarily. So yeah, I think that is why Solo, a Star Wars story, is at number 6 on my list. At number 5, we have Return of the Jedi. So this is a great movie. It ends the original trilogy, and I feel like it does a great job of it. Great final battle scene, and I liked just the, Darth Vader turning right at the end, fulfilling the prophecy, the chosen one, balancing the Force again. I think he did great, and I think Luke in this movie is really cool with his green lightsaber and his new suit. Looks really, really cool. And I just like Endor, the tree planet, and the Ewoks. It's a really solid, great movie. So that is why Return of the Jedi is at number 5 on my list. Next up, at number 4, we have The Force Awakens. So this is a great movie directed by J.J. Abrams. It does a really good job of bringing Star Wars back into existence. It was the first of the new films when Disney acquired Star Wars, and it is a great film in my opinion. I feel like they do such a good job of making it action-packed and the story making overall sense, and of course just adding suspense to it. And then the cliffhanger at the end with Luke is really, really cool. Watching this in theaters and stuff, it was really, really cool. Just the cliffhanger at the end, and you're really waiting for the next movie. And I think The Force Awakens just does such a good job with how they made it, and it's just such a great movie. So that is why The Force Awakens is at number 4 on my list. Next up, at number 3, we have Rogue One, a Star Wars story. So I feel like this movie is one of the best looking Star Wars movie, if not the best looking Star Wars movie in the Star Wars franchise. I feel like it just looks amazing, and it's the closest thing we get to basically war in Star Wars, like what it really is like down on the planets and what a battle is really like. And I feel like, such a good movie. Just this small group of people that are trying to take down this whole gigantic empire, and they end up dying in the end, but they succeeded in their mission to get the plans sent to a ship. And Rogue One does a really good job of just being really emotional and doing a good job just looking well, and the action sequences are amazing in this film. And I love all the accents that the actors have. They do a really good job there. So yeah, that is why Rogue One, a Star Wars story, is at number 3 on my list. At number 2, we have The Rise of Skywalker. This might be a surprise. A lot of people do not like The Rise of Skywalker or the sequel trilogy in general, but I love the sequel trilogy and all the new Star Wars Disney movies. They're all really good in my opinion. And The Rise of Skywalker is here at number 2 because I feel like what it did, it in a way, it kind of messed up the sequel trilogy for a lot of people. But I feel like The Rise of Skywalker still did a good job of just bringing in the whole sequel trilogy and kind of just summing it up, bringing in Palpatine, making it make sense. He was a clone, which we now got an official thing that he is a clone. And I feel like it just does a great, great job. The Rise of Skywalker is action-packed. I love the story. I don't feel like it's rushed, even though a lot of people do, but I do not. And I think it is an overall great movie. So that is why Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is at number 2 on my list. Next up, at number 1, we have The Last Jedi. So this is definitely pretty crazy. A lot of people do not like The Last Jedi. And I think that The Last Jedi is definitely the best movie by far. A lot of people didn't like how Luke turned because they liked the original trilogy a lot, and they didn't feel like Luke would do that, but I think he has a lot of reasons. Like it says when he turns on Kylo Ren, that for the briefest moment of pure instincts, or however he says it, like he basically says that he thought he could stop him, but he didn't turn, he stopped, but Kylo Ren just saw him at the right moment, just happened to see him, and he wanted to protect himself, even though Luke wasn't not going to kill him, and then he just destroyed it, and it was a total accident, and really, he just got so freaked out, like, imagine all that rush of scariness coming into you, like, in a couple seconds of what you saw through Kylo Ren. It really is crazy, and I think he has a very good point to do what he did in The Last Jedi. And, even if you think he did that, and they ruined Luke, I don't think they did, because he comes back in The Last Jedi, and, of course, The Rise of Skywalker, back to his normal self. He comes back even in The Last Jedi as, this Force ghost that completely saves the Resistance. And, people are like, he's a coward because he didn't come there like in his full body. Well, he's not, because if he came there, of course he's old, and he probably wouldn't be able to defeat Kylo Ren. Even if he could, it's not as good of a choice as just taking the easy way that you can win in by using a Force ghost. So definitely, I think that was the good part about there, and I love just The Last Jedi's action. I think it does a really, really good job overall. And yeah, I think that is why The Last Jedi is at number 1. Alright, that is all for today, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please subscribe to the TTT team if you haven't yet. If you don't know if you want to subscribe, go on ahead and watch a couple more of my videos, and then please consider hitting that subscribe button. Hit that like button if you enjoyed the video. And as always, thank you for viewing. Goodbye, everyone.